Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. And on the line, we have, listen, this lady here is, I don't want to say up and coming because she's a veteran in this game. Not only that, but she has been a part of great work. Currently, right now, she's on The Last OG and Nick Cage, and she was in Roxanne, the movie that's on Netflix now. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our esteemed pleasure and honor to introduce to you Miss Heather A. Sims. How you doing this evening, ma'am?
I am well. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Oh, you have your video off. We cannot see you. We have the picture.
Oh.
Yes, the audio and video. We're trying to present you to the world. Not like saying,
I thought I had it on.
Do you have the rollers?
There it is.
She ain't got no rollers in her head.
No, I have my rollers in.
Okay, cool.
So I blew out my natural.
Well, first off, thank you, because I can see by your IMDb you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 things that you have. Well, we have 7 things going on. So
Going on right now?
Well, that's what it says. You know, you got. Well, I know for sure because I've seen Roxanne on Netflix. I watched Luke Cage, which is. Well, I was like, ooh, I got to get on the show on Ingrid. I had to make sure that she's there.
Yes, thank you.
And so, and then when I did some research on you, I had seen you, and I didn't even know Heads of State and 7 Seconds. I was like, okay, she got everything that's on Netflix. She's on there. So, all right, let's see what's going on.
Someone pointed that out to me the other day, and I was like, yeah, thank God.
Right.
I love working for Netflix.
Do they pay on time?
My co-host was asking, do they pay on time?
They do.
Oh, yeah. That's the most important
That's
part.
the most important thing.
Hey.
So how did you
Because I have been in situations where I have not gotten paid.
Oh, no.
Well, as a fellow actor, ma'am, I understand your struggle.
God, thank you,
I'm
sir.
still waiting on checks from 2014. Oh, we gonna get you. We got you, man. As soon as it get out, when we get this screening, it's gonna be right there for you.
Oh my goodness. I remember doing a voiceover campaign for a company, and we did 6 voiceovers. It was a group of Black women, and all of a sudden the company went bankrupt.
Oh.
Yeah. So
well, I noticed that because you've also done Grand Theft Auto too, as for voice.
yes. That was the first video game that I did.
Nice.
Bad Bessie.
Nice.
I know that's right. That being said, how long have you been involved in this whole acting thing?
Well, the first time that I got on stage I was about 4 years old.
Oh,
My
wow.
mom put me in a talent show for our block association. And it was about being 4 and having 4 people in my family. And I remember my little sister jumping up on the chair and applauding. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want my sister to applaud for me all the time. But I thought as I grew up, I thought I was going to be a doctor. So I didn't go to school thinking that I was going to do this until after college. I was wandering around trying to figure out what to do. And my father told me I needed to get a master's in something. And I was like, okay. He was like, anything, just go get a master's. And so I was like, okay, well, if it's anything, I'll get a master's in theater. I don't think that's what he really had in mind, but he didn't protest. So
he said anything.
He said anything.
And he was very supportive. He had always been very supportive of me. So I thank God for that. But that's been over 20 years now.
So does your little sister still clap for you?
She still does. I was telling her that when I saw Solange and Beyonce dancing with each other on stage, it reminded me of me and her when we were kids. So you can always dance with your sister.
Always.
Well, I see the type of work that you've done, and there's dramatic and comedy. Which one would you say is your better genre to be in? I mean, first off, I think it's extremely dope that you're as dynamic, because I know some actors who are just only drama. I know some actors who are only comical. So which one would you say is your favorite?
You know what? I can't say that I have a favorite. I can say that I haven't had the opportunity to do as much comedy as I would like. And about 2 years ago, one of my best friends, he is a phenomenal writer, director. He wrote a play, and he often would write with me in mind. And he wrote this play called Barbecue. And it was at the Public. And he said, I want you to do this role. And I was able to be this outlandish woman who needed to go into treatment, into rehab, but walking around with a supersized bottle of Jack Daniels in my hand,
shout out to whiskey,
red cup, and telling all of my folks off in my family. And it was just hilarious. I got to be outspoken, outlandish, just out. Everything was out. And I had a lot of fun. And I think that was actually one of the first times that I was able to do comedy on stage.
So you started in stage and gravitated up to film?
Yes.
Okay. That seems to be, we talked to Brother Clifton Powell, and he started at stage and went up to film and everything. And I actually started at stage, and most people I know, but there's this new generation, they start in film and then come down to stage. So that being said, which one is your favorite? Not favorite per se, but which one would you prefer to do, film or stage?
I prefer film for the money. I prefer stage for the instant gratification.
Yes.
Because it's different. You can't say that there's a real preference when you get to see the work that you've done on film and television over and over again. And you can go, wow, that was cool. Or I wish I would have done this. And
I understand.
Oh my gosh, how I've grown,
right.
Whether it's, in your craft or in size, whatever it is, you can look at that thing. With theater, you just have the memories and you have the feeling of that time, which I think as actors, there's something about that we hold in our hearts. And so when we see the people that we were on stage with,
I agree.
5, 10, 20 years ago, there's that unspoken thing. And you can form families with people.
I totally agree.
In a way that you can't necessarily
on film.
Yeah. On film.
Right.
Or sometimes television. Television is probably different because if you have a long-running show, then that family aspect can definitely kick in.
Well, I saw you on Law and Order, and I totally agree with what you said, because when I do stage, the people that I work with, like even to this day, we'll see each other and we have like little inside jokes and secrets. And then when you do film, you're on set for however long they need you. Then when you wrap, you don't even know the whole thing until you see it on TV or in the movies. What's going on? Oh, they shot that. Oh, they did that. Oh, she was in there. I didn't know that. So
yeah.
So, but you said television is different. Now I see that you were a part of Law and Order, and now Luke Cage and The Last OG. So, what do you have to say about the family feel with that?
So those were one-offs,
right.
Except for Luke Cage. Luke Cage, I have a recurring on that.
Right.
You'll see me next week on The Last OG. And so if enough people are like, bring her back.
We will start that campaign now, because we had Alan Maldonado in, I guess, a couple of months back, and he was talking about The Last OG. I love it. So, yes, we will start that campaign up immediately to bring you back.
Start that campaign. I loved working on that set. I mean, I loved being on Law and Order, the times that I've been on Law and Order. The Last OG, Tracy made that set feel like home.
Wow.
And so the days that I happy that I was there. I just felt like he made it such a loving place to be. And so I really appreciated that. I appreciated his energy, Cedric's energy. Mm-hmm. They are hilarious.
I can only imagine. I don't see how y'all got anything done.
Right.
I was like, okay, this is my life. Thank you, Jesus.
Right on.
Thank you. You know, and on Luke Cage, I really did feel the family aspect. Sometimes we were just sitting around, you know, and just having conversations. And there's so many different people that get to do this thing and put this thing together. It was fantastic. But in terms of the family, you can definitely get this family thing going, and it's out of nowhere and it's unexpected.
So being that you are a veteran, what is the perfect role or the perfect role that Miss Heather Sims is looking for now?
Oh, gosh. I think the one that will surprise people in terms of what a woman like me, in terms of just being a Black woman from the diaspora, can do, what we're thinking about, what we're doing, what we're feeling, how we're existing. I think perfection, we're always reaching for that thing. But I think what it is the thing that surprises. I think that's the thing that I'm looking for.
Right.
Not the next, oh, I've seen that in a different incarnation. We have so many stories that need to be told that haven't been told yet. And I think that we're getting the opportunities now to create those stories. So when you're talking about young people today starting out in film, because they have the technology, they have the cell phones, they can instantly grab a story and tell their story. And whatever that looks like, it's like, okay, fantastic. We grew up in a time where there was more waiting.
Right.
And so when you wait, you kind of second guess, or you put it to the wayside. The things that they do now, they just put it out there and come what may.
This is a question I want to ask you because, as you know, we've had two successful African-American films this past, when did Girls Trip come out? 2017?
Yes, Girls Trip came out in June last year.
Okay, 2000. So we have Girl Trip, we have Black Panther. Now, when Monique comes up and says, you know, we need to understand, pay what we think our worth, and then you have Sister Viola Davis come right behind her and say, if you're calling me the Black Meryl Streep, then pay me Meryl Streep's money. Mm-hmm. As a veteran, as you see everything that goes on, and as a Black woman, what are your comments about that?
Well, I mean, just in terms of, it doesn't happen just in my industry, you know? Across the board, women aren't paid equal to men,
right?
You know? And so when Octavia Spencer did that film with, I believe it was with Jessica Chastain, and she found an ally in her, and she said, this is how much I'm getting paid. And Jessica was like, wait a minute, how am I getting paid X and you're getting paid Y? And so people can talk the talk, but when they really just walk it and they say, you know what, I'm going to be your ally. I'm going to hear you. I'm going to say enough is enough, because it can be done. I was watching 60 Minutes last night, and there was the CEO of this company, can't remember the name right now, but he said that he wanted to pay all of the women in his company the same. And he said, it's easy to do. You just have to want to do it.
Wow.
And so Monique asking for pay parity, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I don't think so either.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think you have to ask. And there's nothing wrong with her asking. And I don't know where the controversy came. I don't know if the controversy was in her asking, in her being who she is and asking, you know, because when someone else negotiates for us, sometimes they get a better deal.
Right.
And that's just the truth of the matter. I've had to have a white person stand in front of me in New York City to hail a cab because it wasn't going to stop for me.
Wow. That is incredible. Really.
Right. This is before Uber. Uber, now you just. Hopefully you have 5 stars.
Right.
Right on. So, that being said, give me 2 people, both male and female, that you would like to work with.
I would love to work with Miss Viola.
Right on.
Viola Davis. And Chadwick Boseman.
I see that too.
Yeah.
Hey, Chad, we hear that? Black Panther 2 coming out. Let's keep it Wakanda.
Forever.
Yeah, so let's keep it Wakanda.
You know, good people. They're good people. And so you want to work with people who are doing good work, but who are also just good people.
So what's next? We see all of this stuff on IMDb. My co-host said, it ain't accurate. Ask her. So what is next for Heather Sims? What do you have coming out?
Well, I mean, you know what? I just decided to do a play, and I haven't done a play in, I guess, 2 years. So I'll be doing this play at Soho Rep in New York City.
Right on.
And we go into rehearsals actually in about a week and a half. And it's a Black female playwright, and she's writing about feeling like you're being surveilled. And as Black people, I know that, you know, sometimes we feel like folks are watching us.
I do that right now. Hold on. What's going on? Look over my show. Wait a minute. Hold on. Yeah, I got you.
And so I'm really excited to be able to do this play. Yeah.
So that being said, I need a favor from you now.
Uh-huh.
I need you to look into the camera and say your name and tell people that they're tuned in to the Benét Embry Show.
Hi, I'm Heather Alicia Sims, and you must tune in to the Benét Embry Show.
See, that's perfect. That's what I'm talking about. That's Wakanda right there.
Stroking his ego. Stroking this little ego over here.
Please.
Yes, Benet.
Tell people how to get in contact with you.
Well, you can contact me. I'm on Instagram.
Right on.
BK Jam Child.
Right on.
So Brooklyn, Jamaica Child.
Right on.
I'm on Facebook, Heather Alicia Sims. My website is not up right now. It's down for maintenance, but it's heatheraliciasims.com.
Oh, see, we got Visual Poetics, he said BK in the building, so he's right there with you.
All right, BK.
Well, ma'am, thank you so much for your time. We
Thank you for having me. And remember to tune in next week, the 24th, the last OG.
The last OG.
And when Luke Cage comes out, come on now.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be really exciting.
Yeah. What'd you say, Jay?
No, we have to get you to come back.
Oh, yeah, we definitely have to get you to come back.
I would love to come back.
Okay, we know how to make that happen, ma'am. So,
absolutely.
So thank you again, ma'am, and you
Thank
have a very blessed and good night.
A very blessed time I had with y'all, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Heather Alicia Sims.
Not to be confused.